combating nutrition disinformation and general bull. It's Jimmy Rants. JimmyRants.com.
What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another Instagram Live. And we have another Jimmy Rants episode all in store for you here today. So welcome in. If you're brand new to Jimmy Rants, go to JimmyRants.com. You can see how this works, but I'll briefly explain it for you here. We start off on Instagram, and we do live videos there on Instagram. So go follow me at Living Low Carb Man on Instagram, LivinLowCarbman. And if you can't watch it live, watch the replay for 24 hours there. Then head on over to YouTube, where I had somebody just comment today that they don't have Instagram, but they just found my show, this show here, on YouTube. So if you're watching this on YouTube, welcome. We post these here, so that's where they'll be housed forever and ever, amen. And then we have a Jimmy Rants podcast, which takes snippets from these Jimmy Rants, and we put like a nice little music bed underneath. Makes it very entertaining to listen to, usually around about 10-ish minutes, 10 to 15 minutes long. So it's a quick little listen in your car if you're traveling or whatever. So go find that on your favorite podcasting format. JimmyRants.com is the website where you can find out all of this information, all about the show. Today's Jimmy Rants topic is one that I've talked about within the greater health community for many years now, because I started off on the Atkins diet. So 2004, I went on the Atkins diet, very famously lost 180 pounds on it, came off of several medications, changed my life forever in many ways. And so the Atkins diet was kind of the big diet back when I first started. And then along came Primal. So Mark Sisson's concept in kind of 2008, 2009, that came along. And you actually had various variations of low-carb diets that were out there. So Protein Power was out there. I know the South Beach diet came on pretty strong around that time. Lots of different kinds of diets. Then in 2010, Rob Wolf writes his book, The Paleo Solution, and then suddenly Paleo takes off and becomes the grand diet du jour that's out there. And Paleo ran its course, and along came Keto. So right now, I don't know if you've noticed or not, but Keto is kind of a big deal in the mainstream. And so, and then all along the way, you've seen the plant-based people out there, the vegetarian, the vegans, doing their thing. And in fact, there's people like my Keto Talk podcast co-host, Dr. Will Cole, writing books about mixing kind of a mostly plant-based diet with a ketogenic diet. His book, Ketotarian, is out and doing very well. So people are responding to that. So my question is, can keto, paleo, and plant-based advocates all rally around some centralized message? And that message being real food. And I remember when I got to interview one of the most famous low-carb or low-fat diet doctors in the entire world. His name is Dr. Dean Ornish. He's the guy that's written so many books all about low-fat diets and how it helps you reverse heart disease and all of this stuff. And I had him on my show, Living La Vida Low Carb show, to talk about it. And at the end of the show, this was back in the early days of when I was blogging still, I did a recap of what I thought were areas of commonality that I had with Dr. Ornish. And a lot of it came back to, you know, we both believe in... Sorry, somebody keeps trying to call me, and I'm in the middle of an Instagram Live. He should know I'm doing Jimmy Rants right now. So I think the real food element is the glue that binds us all together. And so if real food is what we're all trying to point people to and getting them off of the crappy garbage, as I call it, because even vegans and vegetarians, even they want people to be off of crap. They don't want people to eat gobs and gobs of refined grains and sugars. And so if that's true, and it is, and obviously paleo believes that, and people in the keto world believe that. Why can't we focus in on what we agree on to try to change the diets of Americans and people around the world? Because it seems to me that if most people are totally oblivious to doing anything in their nutrition to promote health, if they're not doing anything at all, shouldn't the goal be to get them off the stuff that's making them sick? And if that's the goal, then why can't we coalesce and lay aside our differences between the keto and paleo world with safe starches, and between the paleo and vegan world of you eat meat, we don't eat meat? Why don't we lay aside those things and rally around, hey, just get off the crap. You know, I want the anti-crappy garbage message to get out there. And if we just got people to understand the metabolic effects that are happening when they consume those junk foods that they think are innocuous because, oh, well, it's staying low in calories, I think that's our biggest uphill climb. Any of us that are in the nutritional health industry right now is getting people to care. And quite honestly, I don't care if you eat keto. I don't care if you eat paleo. I don't care if you eat vegan, vegetarian. I want you off the junk. And if you can get off the junk, then you'll tinker and test and figure out which of those modalities of health in your diet will be best for you. But getting people off the junk, so rallying around why that's important, seems to be a no-brainer. But here's what I'm observing. A lot of people in the keto and paleo world, they can get very dogmatic about their way of eating. But then there's a good number of them that aren't, that are like, hey, find what works for you. And that's been my message all along. What I have not seen, though, is in the vegan, vegetarian community, the plant-based community, is a reciprocation of that. You find almost no plant-based people that say that they're in favor of a ketogenic diet or they're in favor of a paleo diet. What you instead hear them say is they lambaste it because they equate eating red meat, for example, to eating sugar, just as bad as eating sugar. So that's part of the problem. Is you've got one of these groups that I've listed in my Jimmy Rants here today. They're just simply not interested in saying, well, if that works for you, do it. Whereas a lot of us say, if plant-based works for you, do it. Now, obviously, we're going to talk about making sure you get plenty of healthy fats in that. And we're going to talk about all the protein, the complete proteins that you get if you eat red meat and meats and eggs and things like that. So it is definitely a challenge. And it's something that I have tried to lead the way on just a little bit, of trying to rally together, that we're all really just kissing cousins of each other. And meanwhile, most of the population is still eating junk. And so can keto, paleo, and plant-based advocates rally around real food? I think we can, but there's going to have to be a lot of egos set aside. There's going to be have to be a lot of the dogmatism that still exists out there about my way is the best way. I'm the keto guy, and even I don't say that everybody should eat keto, and even I don't become militant about it. If keto works for you, great. I can support you in that and give you information. If keto is not helping you, then I'm going to help you find something that will help you in your health journey. So that's kind of what I wanted to say here. It's unfortunate that there is such dogma regarding these things. And I've even seen some things on social media where people say, well, keto's becoming the new vegan because people are just so, you have to be keto. I ain't one of those people, by the way. I obviously strongly advocate for a ketogenic diet. But if you found something that works for you that's not keto, I'm cheering you on, because that's my jam. All right, let's see what you guys have to say. Welcome in, welcome in. Hello, Lilla Grand. Hello, hashtag is my name. Hello, Lisa. Thanks for being here, you guys. Hello, Olga. All my great peeps are here. Lilligran, isn't there a danger of compromising what makes keto work if you only focus on real food? So you misunderstood me completely, darling. That's not at all what I said. What I said was, let's get people on real food And then once they're on real food, then we add in whatever element works for them. So if they choose to be more of a plant-based real food, they go more towards the vegan vegetarian. If they want to be just real whole foods mostly and paying attention to gut health and all that, then go to paleo. If you need, because you have insulin resistance or some disease, type 2 diabetes, and you need to carbohydrate restrict, then we move you towards keto. So don't misunderstand me. And we made this very clear in my latest book called Real Food Keto, that you could be real food all day and not be optimal in your health, which is why we bring in the keto element in that book. And then you could be keto and not do real food, and that's also a problem. But the rallying cry behind all of these popular diets, keto, paleo, plant-based, is real food. And if we rally around that and get people off the junk and get them onto real, whole, unprocessed foods, I think we'd be 90% better in our health than we are right now. Hello, Beth. Thanks for being here. Joshua J. Winslow, fat is real food. Exactly. And meat is real food. But see, here's the thing. I don't want to get too hung up on that, because that is a rallying cry for a lot of keto and paleo people responding to vegans. Well, meat is real food. I think getting people on real food first and then refining it from there is the key. New book name suggestion Olga has, Get Off the Junk. If I did it, it would be Get Off the Crappy Garbage. But thank you, Olga. Hello, Joette. Thanks for being here. Rebecca K. 1974. I agree with this. Our vegan friends are constantly giving us a hard time for eating meat when we go to dinner. This will be a great talking point next time. Real food. I think, yeah, I think if we could rally around this real food message. I mean, it's one reason I wrote Real Food Keto with my wife, Christine, with great recipes by Maria Emmerich, by the way, is we wanted to show people the value that you get from real food, and that shifting off of crappy garbage and onto real food is a great first step for a lot of people. And then from there, refine it like we talked about. But real food alone will not be the answer, so that's why you need to refine it. But getting off of sugar and refined grains and starchy carbohydrates that aren't real food, all of those things are just destroying the health of so many people. And I think the sooner that people understand that, and I think the only reason people still eat that crap now, and I've said this before in other Jimmy Rants, it's the calorie hypothesis. Well, it fits within my calories for the day, therefore it's okay for me to consume. And I think that is the wrong way to look at it, which is why I'm a big anti-calorie guy. I think calories, they do matter, but it's the quality of calories that matter more. And so you could sit there and argue about, well, yeah, okay, I'm keeping my calories under 2,000, but what are those quality of calories? And that matters. And if you make it real whole foods, okay, you're most of the way there, and then you just refine it from there to some nutrient plan that works for you. Keto, paleo, plant-based, whatever you choose to do. It's Darla Daisy. Finally, I get to see you live. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for watching live. And so the bottom line here today, you guys, is I think those of us that are in the health community that advocate for keto, advocate for paleo, plant-based, really any nutritional modality that isn't the SAD diet, standard American diet, we can rally around one singular message, and that singular message is real food. Because that's the commonality. With all the so-called differences that we have, the commonality is we're all about real food, okay? So if we could get people to just embrace that real food message, how much healthier would we be, right? So that's it for this episode of Jimmy Rants. JimmyRants.com is the website. Hop on over to Instagram if you're not watching this on Instagram, and you can follow me there at Livin' Low Carb Man, LIVIN LOWCARBMAN. And you can watch me live, just like all these people have here today. And then you can watch the replay on Instagram for 24 hours. Then pop on over to YouTube if you want to watch the replay there. We keep those forever and ever, amen, on there. We're into the 70s now in the episodes on YouTube. And then finally, we have a Jimmy Rants podcast. Wherever you listen to podcasts, we have about 20-something episodes of the podcast available for you. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, all the usual places where you can listen to podcasts. Again, all of that is housed at jimmyrants.com. All right, guys, until next time, we'll see you then.